All right, here we go. Lil Woody. Welcome to VladTV.
Thanks, Sam.
Long time coming. We've been talking about doing this for a minute. You know, I wanted the Young Thug trial to end before doing the interview because I understood that, you know, whatever we do, they're going to be watching it. So I didn't want potentially anything you and I said to go into Young Thug's case. But now, since he's taken time served, I feel like it's a good time for us to actually talk.
Yeah, they've been pulling me over, too. I done got pulled over 3 times in the last 2 days.
Okay. In Atlanta.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man, you're popular out there. Yeah. Well, it's your first time here, so I want to start in the very beginning. So you were raised in Mechanicsville.
No, definitely.
Okay. And what was that like at the time?
You know, when I was growing up, well, you didn't have an internet, so, you know, it was just, you know, everybody in the hood chilling, you feel me? Like, it was different from what it is now. I don't get what you mean, like, what?
Well, okay, so let me rephrase that a little bit. You were growing up and you had 10 brothers and sisters. So it was a lot of kids in the house. How many boys, how many girls?
6 girls and it's 4 boys total.
Okay, all the same parents?
Yes, mom and dad.
Oh, okay, they're busy.
Right.
Okay. Where are you in the...
I'm the 7th child, youngest boy.
Okay. Now, when you were 10 years old, your dad died from cancer.
Right.
Okay. How did that affect you? Because your parents are still married, a lot of kids to take care of, and now the breadwinner is now gone.
Well, it's like, I can't say it affect me, but I can't say it didn't affect me, because I never got to see what the experience would be like. You know, it's nothing I knew. I didn't know any better at the time, like. And then I had a head injury, so I didn't really. I had a head injury, so I really wasn't aware as much as a 10-year-old would be aware.
What do you mean by head injury?
When I was a kid, I rode a big wheel down the steps and crashed my head right here.
Okay.
I lost my memories, my speech, my hearing. Yeah.
For how long?
Shit, I don't know.
Okay. So do you know how long you were not able to speak? Was it years or months or?
I didn't even find it out until later. Like, when I was in the feds, they did a PSI. And when I read the PSI, when it came back, that's when I read up on my speech. I knew about my hearing and what I did because my mama told me, but
yeah.
I didn't know how bad it affected me until I read it in my PSI.
Okay. So by the time you became able to speak and, you know, all your senses came back, your dad was already gone.
No, I actually remember when he died. I remember the night that, you know, he died. I remember certain parts, but yeah, I remember certain pieces. I just don't remember like us spending time together. You feel me? So to be able to like, okay, this and that.
That's too bad, man.
Yeah.
I think every son especially needs to have a dad in their life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you lost yours early, and unfortunately, you don't remember a lot of the background. Sorry to hear that, man. Okay, so now you and your 9 siblings are growing up in a house with just a mom. How is she really managing to pay for everything?
Well, we were surviving out the government. We got check from, you know, our daddy passing, food stamps, just like every other kid in the neighborhood. And, you know, my mom was a hustler.
Okay. I think you mentioned on No Jumper that it was a trap house at one point?
I did.
Yeah. So was it?
Not like a trap house, like you know how you get a trap house? But I guess so, to a certain extent.
Okay, but you were actually seeing sales happen within the house, people coming in and out and everything else like that?
It wasn't that type, like, you feel me? But that's what we grew up around.
Okay. Well, then when you were 17, your mom died.
She died, yeah.
From what?
I think the hospital killed her, but I'm gonna let God deal with that and them people. But they claim it was cancer.
Okay.
And
Well, you and your mom were really close.
I think, everybody had a bond. You know what I mean? Like, if you let one of my siblings say it, they'll say they were close. But to me, I think we was. Our birthday was like 3 days apart.
I mean, you had said that she was the only one that really had control over you.
Still to this day.
So she would tell you to go do something and you would listen to her and nobody else.
Well, let's just say I still been bad, you know what I mean? But I wasn't gonna play with her.
Okay, so before 17, when you were in high school, were you getting in trouble at all? Kicked out of school, suspended, arrests, anything?
I was getting in trouble in school because I was taking special ed classes, and I wasn't gonna take them classes because I was started going to class with the kids in my community. And you know what I mean? They just coming at and be like, Lil Woody. Shit, nigga, this ain't about choice. You feel me? They about force.
It's because of head injury?
Yeah, because so they was like, they tried to prepare me like if I was to go completely deaf, I know sign language. But that's what I was thinking.
Okay. Do you know sign language?
Yeah,
Still?
I do.
Okay. Can you sign something real quick?
What you want me to sign?
Hello, how are you doing?
I just say, my name is Kenneth Copeland.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. So you were getting a little bit of trouble, but nothing too serious in high school.
Right.
But then you said when your mom died at 17, that's when things started to change.
Right. So when I was in high school, we get in a fight and skip classes. That's the more I did. When I got to high school, my neighborhood had beef with another neighborhood, and we all went to the same school and we ride together. But that's what it was, fight. So my mom come up to school, they let me go back. But when she died, another fight had broke out, and then it wasn't me this time. I was already suspended. But it's a kid from my neighborhood with the same nickname as me, and everybody was saying our nickname. And when I came back to school, the first day after she died, my first day back at school, they pulled me to the office and kicked me out. So I was like, damn. I really didn't want to go to school, but it just like, damn, y'all gonna kick me out of school my first day back? Like, it wasn't no sympathy, but they said that the school was like, instead of sending you to an alternative school, we just gonna give you your withdrawal papers and you can go enroll in another Atlanta public school. I was like, well, y'all could just keep that shit. I threw it in the trash and went on about my life.
Okay, so you didn't graduate.
No, I didn't.
Okay, did you ever get your GED afterwards?
Nope.
Okay.
I went to jail.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you knew how to read and write and math and everything else like that?
I comprehend every now and then on certain stuff, like, so it's just like, shit, I don't know.
Okay.
When I was in the class, they didn't teach, being in special classes don't teach you as regular classes did.
Huh.
You feel me? Like, I might was in middle school learning basic math. So I learned, anything I know is come from what I seen as growing up in the streets.
I mean, when you look back on it, do you feel that messed you up because you are now 17, 18 years old, you don't have a high school diploma, so you can't get certain types of jobs. You know, your reading and writing are not up to par, so it limits what you could do legally.
I think I messed myself up when I crashed my head. Because it's like later on down the line, it's all affecting me. Like when I was going to school, I lost my drive for school when I couldn't play sports. I couldn't pass the physical. So when I was going to school, they not doing it as they doing it today, where deaf players can play in the NFL. They told me that I got a hearing problem. Somebody hit me too hard and knock out my hearing, So I'm like, well, what's the purpose of going to school? I didn't think to be a lawyer, a doctor, someone that had to get a law degree or whatever. Not a law degree, but education. I thought about sports and that was it.
Okay. Well, you had a best friend named DB.
Mm-hmm.
He got killed.
Yes.
How old were you at the time?
Grown. I don't keep up with the years. So he got killed in 2013. So that's like, 11 years ago? I was like 22.
Okay. How did he get killed?
Coward ass drive-by.
Drive-by.
Yeah.
Okay. After he got killed, you said, I had to go terrorize. What does that mean?
Exactly what it sounded like it meant.
So you were just angry and wanted payback for the situation.
I was just angry with society, period. You know what I mean? Like, so I didn't care. I just went outside and just lived my life every day on the edge.
Without naming any names, did you know who did it?
No.
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 Did that bother you? That your best friend just got killed and you don't know who's behind it?
It still do bother me because it's like, he's the type of person just stand out. So it's just like, I don't believe in mistakes. You feel me? From the way he dressed, the way he walked, you know what I mean? You could tell it was him. And he never had enemies or never bothered nobody.
Sorry for your loss, man. That's too bad. You know, might have even been mistaken identity. That shit happens too.
Nah, I ain't no such thing as mistaken identity, man. Niggas just, like I said, niggas just cowards, man. You know what I mean? Pulling up, showing their eye closed.
Okay, so you said before your friend died, you would only hang out with people from your own neighborhood, but then you started to go out and kind of socialize with other people after that.
Well, yeah. I seen that people from other neighborhoods show more loyalty than the ones that you growed up with. So like I could be growing up with this guy right here 15, 20 years and just meet this guy couple days. He willing to go to certain limits that this guy I've been on all my life won't go. So once I seen the love that the outside had for me, I embraced it because I was already vulnerable. Like I was hurting, you feel me? And I lost my friend, so I'm like, man. And when I seen people ready to ride for him, and there wasn't like people that you look forward to be like, let's go ride, I like, oh, niggas in the neighborhood ain't to my nothing.
Right, because by this time, you lost your mom, you lost your dad, you lost your best friend, you're kicked out of high school. So you're just really kind of floating around trying to figure it out.
I wasn't even trying to figure it out. I was just going with the day.
Right, because you said early on you were doing smash and grabs.
What about it?
I mean, this is past statute of limitations.
Right, you know I know that.
Yeah, so you were doing smash and grabs. Because you said that you didn't really want to get into the drug game to make money.
Yeah, I felt like if I was going to be doing crimes, I didn't know what my charges carried up to. And commercial burglary it didn't carry as much time. So I was like, well, I'm going to breaking stores. If I get caught, I'll do a year or two. Now, I mean, this is the mindset I had, breaking in people's cars. It didn't carry as much time as robbing somebody, selling drugs or doing certain stuff. So I was like, cool. And then I ended up getting caught one day. I didn't actually go break in the store. I just got caught in the location with other people that, you know what I mean, allegedly have broken in the store. And when I went to jail, that was the end of it. If I get caught for something, I don't do it no more.
Okay, because the first time going to jail, it was for a gun?
My very first charge was a gun.
Okay, you were, 17, 18 at the time?
Yeah.
Okay, because you bonded out, but then didn't this come up like 5 years later?
Right.
So explain that. I'm a little confused by it.
Well, my first time getting locked up, the police just jumped out on me, said I matched the description of somebody's shoe. Put in my backpack and found a gun.
Why were you carrying a gun during this time?
I actually wasn't carrying. It's old, so somebody else had it. I took it from him because I seen the police going after him. But somebody else was watching me and seen me take it from him.
Oh, so you're trying to help your friend out, basically.
I helped somebody out.
Right, and in turn, you caught a gun charge.
Yeah, and the person actually, the police caught him. But when they realized he didn't have the gun, somebody told him I had it. And then that's when they came and got me.
Okay, so you caught that gun charge, you bonded out, and then you actually got pressured to plead guilty to that gun charge, right?
Right. So what they did was, that was like 2008 or 9. I got locked up like 2014, 15 for some more stuff, and then it was like, oh, well, we got a gun case from way back here that it's been, and plead guilty. This is the only thing holding me in jail, some stupid stuff. I was like, man, that's, the statute of limitation ran out. That's been over 5 years ago. Y'all got to drop that. But, they weren't going to let me out of jail. They wouldn't give me no bond on it.
Right. You said after that you didn't want to plead guilty ever again.
Right.
Okay, so you had that case, but then there was the whole robbery situation that happened later on. This was like 2012, 2013?
A robbery? I don't know nothing about
No,
that.
no. But you said you were caught in the vicinity of a
Oh, smash and grab?
smash and grab, yeah.
Okay.
Right. So you got caught for that.
I did.
Okay, and what did they charge you with?
What they charged me with?
Yeah.
Participation in criminal street gang and theft by receiving stolen property.
Okay, that was 2012.
No, that was like 11 or 10.
Okay, because you did a year over that?
No, I did like a few months.
Few months.
I didn't have a record.
Aha.
And like the clothes that I had on, when they looked at the surveillance camera, those clothes was never on camera.
Aha.
I had on like a green shirt, like I had on bright colors. So they gave me a gang charge and saying that I received stolen property. Well, I got a signature bond like within I think I did 2 or 4 months and got a signature bond, got out, and I didn't plea out to it. I told them I'd go to trial before I take a plea. So they dropped the gang charge and made me plea out to the theft charge, 6-month probation.
Okay. So then you get out around what, 2012, 2013?
I think I got out like 2011.
Okay. Got it. Well, at one point you end up having a daughter.
Yes.
And you said that kind of made you change a little bit.
Ain't no kinda. It opened my eyes and slowed me down.
Right. Now you have a little person who's responsible, you're responsible for. Well, you had 2 kids around the same time, right?
Actually, it was more than that, but 2 was born.
Okay. Now, at what point do you actually meet Young Thug?
Around the time my friend died and my baby mama was pregnant,
Okay.
got pregnant.
And how'd you guys initially meet?
He just called me out of the blue. I knew him. I knew of him. You feel me? Like, everybody from Atlanta knew of him as he was coming up. And I've been around him a few times, shot dice with him. But he just called me out of the blue one day, like, hey, come see me. You want to go on shows with me? And, we went from there.
Okay, and that was around the time the Stoner came out. Maybe within about a year of that time?
It was 2013, the
Yeah.
end of the year, so.
Yeah, Stoner came out February of 2014.
He had a lot of songs. I think it was Danny Glover. It was he.
Well, yeah, but Stoner is what kind of set it off. Stoner, then Danny Glover, and then it was like he got on a run that he never got off of.
See, once you right there with him, it's just like all of his songs was just going where he needed them to go.
So how did it feel? You got this friend who is now becoming, because there's so many rappers in Atlanta that are trying to make it. They're trying to, they're going to the studio, they're uploading SoundCloud. But when Young Thug came out, especially with Stoner, it was like everyone started to pay attention. Mm-hmm. Suddenly Birdman was coming around. I remember around that time, I was in New Orleans for like All-Star Weekend, and I remember Drake was DJing, and he was playing Young Thug in his DJ set. And this was, what I'm saying? Stoner had just come out, and Drake was already on it, is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So suddenly all the biggest people in the game were now gravitating towards Young Thug.
Right.
So how was that, seeing that in the early stages?
Well, you heard what I said. I had more than 2 girls pregnant.
That's from just being around, huh?
just for being around.
Just for being around.
I had to tell them girls, look, he's the one rich, not me. Y'all gonna put them kids on him.
Okay, and did you start using YSL Woody around that time?
I never put YSL on my name. I always be like, you know, I'm around them, so it was just like, I always said my affiliation to what I was, but people, they never caught it because I just wasn't, I didn't see it as a trend, you feel me? I seen it as a way of life. But when people see you running with people, they just automatically just, you know, label y'all one thing. But, you know, I'm around with them like 4 flat tires, though, so.
Right, and you were showing up in the music videos.
Yeah.
He was mentioning you in songs. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it seemed like you guys were tight.
Oh, no, I got his back.
Right. Well, a beef started between Thug and Lil Wayne. And that culminated in Lil Wayne's tour bus getting shot up in 2015.
I was in jail.
Right. Well, Pee Wee Roscoe ultimately pled guilty to that shooting. Did you know Roscoe?
I knew Roscoe.
But you weren't close to him.
Yeah, I was.
Okay. When you heard about that situation, what did you think?
Well, if I don't got nothing to do with it, I don't get in that business. So I didn't, when I heard, I was just like, I was in jail.
What were you in jail for at that time?
Shoplifting.
Shoplifting. Okay.
Yes, and I'm a blue jean bandit, man. Well, I like going in the store stealing.
So
I'm gonna come when the clothes.
Okay.
They had me enough stealing ink cartridges.
Ink cartridges?
No bun.
So, I mean, look, at this point, it's all done. Are you saying all this was false?
Right, it was. Right, real talk. I had like money, but when we go to jail, we gonna use public defenders. So I never had a paid lawyer at the time. But when I went to jail, I'm talking to the public defender like, hey, listen, I ain't never been to hearing camera a day in my life. She's like, yeah, we know it's not you. We got the person on camera. So why am I sitting in jail? She said, it's a process you got to go through. I said, but I don't have a bond. She said, yeah, because you missed court. So I'm like, on charges that I have nothing to do with.
Still got to go to court, though.
You got the person on camera. He have hair. I have a bald head.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like, so I had to pay a lawyer. I sold my four-wheeler and paid a lawyer to come get me out of jail. And as soon as he got me out of jail, they put another one out on me again.
Was Thug helping you out with legal bills during this time?
Say that again?
Was Young Thug helping you out with legal bills? Because, you know, that's your man. And
No,
you never asked him for nothing.
Well, I didn't ask him. He offered. My first time ever, you know, hearing about it, that's what made me pay a lawyer. He was like, hey, I get a lawyer to represent you. Just find one. So when I had my baby mama call around, look for lawyers. When we found one, nobody didn't pick up the phone, so that what made me sell my four-wheeler and, you know, get out.
Okay. So right around the time that the tour bus shooting happened, it seemed like YSL and YFN started to beef with each other. Now, before this, you know, YFN and YSL got along because both crews had people there that were friends with each other. But at one point, things started to go wrong. So, according to the court documents and so forth, they're saying that Young Thug and Rich Homie Quan were having issues because Thug wanted Quan to sign to his label, Quan didn't want to sign, and Quan was managed by Nut. And Nut kind of got in the middle of the situation and didn't want him to sign. And Nut was also a high-ranking member of the Bloods of the Inglewood family. Do you know about the situation, though?
I did it. I told you, I'm the type of person that mind my own business. And I wasn't hanging in the studio. You feel me? I'm in the streets. They had to come, like, when it was time to go places, they either call me or come find me. Because I ain't going to answer. Like, I didn't like hanging in the studio. So a lot of the stuff I heard, and that's why when I heard the trial, I was like, well, they don't know what they talking about. You feel me? everybody, assume and guessing Thug and Rich Homie really did have a real bond. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't have a bond with Rich Homie. And, cause like I said, Atlanta, it's different. You feel me? Like, man, you could be cool, but you and my partners don't like each other. You feel what I'm saying? But, me and you not gonna hang, but we cool. You feel what I'm saying? Whatever y'all got going on, shower, smoke. That's just how Atlanta is. So, if my buddy got smoke with you, I'm the type of nigga I got smoke with you too.
Well, yeah, I mean, I talked to Quan while he was still alive, and he did say that there was problems, that Thug wanted him to sign and he didn't want to sign, and that did create a level of friction, right? Rest in peace, Rich Homie Quan. I did his first interview ever. And you actually, when he died, you even put out a rest in peace and so forth.
Yeah, because I had a conversation with Rich Homie, a real conversation where, like, a lot of people don't understand, like, my whole life consists of being out there in the streets. Like I said, I was a baby seeing activities that I shouldn't have been seeing. And I can see right through people that's trying to be something that's not in them. And when I was talking to Rich Homie, I was like, bro, you're a millionaire, you feel me? Ain't no way you should be being pressed by anybody, you feel me? Like, you got people out here that want their money, so if somebody pressing you, you might well just go ahead and get that business handled. I'm just playing, I'm trolling, I ain't telling that. But now we had a conversation where I was just like, be yourself, you feel me?
Man, Quan's a good dude, man. I had only positive experiences with him the whole time. We had conversations, multiple interviews, and we had conversations off camera, man. It killed me when I heard he died from a fentanyl overdose. He's actually the 5th person I've interviewed over the years that has died of fentanyl.
And you think people stop, they don't.
Yeah.
They go take more. Nigga, like, I want to go buy from this same dealer. Because that's why, I think that's why people taking pills. I think people are actually intentionally doing it to themselves because life may be too hard for them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the pressure over the trial and his name being thrown in there, I'm sure that added to it. You know?
The timing was just crazy. You know what I mean? But like you said, man, the trial was just like one of the hardest things to deal with. You feel me? Because it's just like, don't nobody want to go through that process. You feel me? It ain't about, you know what I mean, how people gonna view you. But man, these people life on the line. You feel me? Like, y'all just throwing things together. They building their whole case off the internet.
Okay, so the backdrop is there's some friction between Young Thug and Rich Homie Quan in this. So you got a YSL, YFN situation that isn't necessarily really bad, but there is some tension.
I'm gonna say this, and you're hearing it from me. Thug didn't want nothing bad to happen to Rich Homie. He out on the street, so there's no reason for me to protect him. With my own eyes, Thug didn't want nothing to happen to him.
Okay. Right, so at one point they did start dissing each other.
Nah, Rich Homie did it. Rich Homie started being pressure.
Right. But Thug, I remember there was a video where he called him Bitch Homie Quan on stage.
After Rich Homie had already dissed Thug.
Okay, so you're saying that the Quan actually started it in a way.
Yeah, he did. Because Thug was always like, they're my brother.
Okay.
And you got me on the side like, that's your brother.
Man, listen, and they had great music together. I thought they sounded great.
Well, they did.
Yeah.
I actually liked it. Like I said, like, people don't understand, like, when you start doing things that you weren't doing before, then it started to affect, you feel what I'm saying, your decisions, your path. And that's what he did.
Okay, so we got the backdrop to that. But then on January 5th, 2015, you were at Club Crucial. And, I mean, according to the paperwork, a YFN member named Shell Kell, a.k.a. Kelvin Watts, tried to rob you at the club.
They ain't try to rob me. They approached me, and they was just like, what's up? And me being me, I ain't going for nothing.
Right. Weren't you like, you had 20,000 on you and you were kind of, flashing it around a little bit?
I had the money in my hand before they walked up on me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But when the person walk up on me, I put the money in my pocket because I ain't gonna lie, I ain't letting nobody take nothing from me, man. Like, you just have to do it to me. And you know what I mean? That was their case.
Okay. Did he actually rob you?
No, no. I'm still here alive, and he's still alive. It's just that, like, I would in front of whoever if you disrespect me, because it's like I ain't messing with nobody.
Right. But that situation caused a fight to break out. They described it as a brawl.
Right.
Would you say it's accurate?
Say that again?
Would you say it's accurate? Did the big fight break out right then and there?
Nah, not a big fight. Just, couple licks to the face, you know what I mean? They run out the club. That was it.
Right. And according to reports, shots got fired.
That's a lie.
So that's not true.
They left. Before we came out the club, they was already gone.
Okay, so no shots got fired.
No shots got fired.
Right. They say the police arrived, but nobody wanted to talk. So they made up the whole thing about the shots?
The police never saw me that night. You feel me? So it was like, they hit me, they ran out the door. I ran out the door with them. And when I ran out the door with them, my car was locked. I ran back in the club. So by the time I was going back in the club, they was gone. So what shots going off for?
Was there a situation where Nut's car got broken into? Or his car was unlocked?
Yeah, the car was unlocked.
And did you allegedly take some jewelry out the car? Or?
Huh?
Did you take some jewelry out of Nut's car?
I don't think I can answer that right now.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so then January 10th, 2015. According to the DA, they say the young thug put a green light on Nut. I'm not saying you're saying this, but this is what the DA says.
That's what they gonna say.
That's what they're gonna say. A car got rented. Did you ask Thug to rent this car?
I ain't gonna speak on that either.
Okay. Regardless of what happened leading up to it, a drive-by happens at a barber shop, and Big Nut gets killed. A 14-year-old gets shot in the leg, and a 20-something-year-old gets shot in the leg. Nut's brother was in the vicinity when it happened, and as Nut was dying, he told his brother, "Thug had me killed." Then, according to police, young Thug went and met up, they say you and some other people, at a McDonald's within a few miles, and they talked about the whole situation of what just happened. They're saying that you went to young Thug's condo to pack and you left town.
Well, you see how the trial just went. You feel me? What they saying ain't what's going on. What they thought was going on. You feel me? Like, we don't know what happened. They can't even prove that the car that they saying did it was the car that was actually the car that did it. So man, I don't know what the hell be going on with that.
Well, when you got on the stand later on, and I'm going through the transcripts, you were asked, "Did you kill Donovan Thomas, Mr. Copeland?" You said, "Huh?" They asked again, and then you said no. And then you said, "What happened to Nut got nothing to do with YSL. This has everything to do with Threat, not me. I was trying to protect Threat from the get-go. I don't know what Threat got something to do with this, but I do know it was the last person that I gave that car to."
So y'all don't know that Threat, his name being mentioned throughout the whole trial. He go by Tay too. People don't understand like how names are being downplayed in there because, like I said, different people call you different things. I might call him Threat, I might call him Tay. Some other people do too. If you go back into it and you pay attention, Threat name been mentioned from the start, and he was mentioned as Tay at first. him and Rich Homie had a problem with each other. So whatever threat got going on is with Rich Homie Coin. It didn't have nothing to do with Thug. Thug is Rich Homie friend. So you got Threat and Thug. Them two, Threat and Thug they not like this. So they are trying to take things and throw it together. And that's what happened when they tried it.
Right, but you said on the stand that you gave that car to Threat.
I said on the stand, I left that car at the studio.
Okay. So you're saying you didn't say that on the stand?
I don't know what I said on the stand. Okay. I know that, you know what I mean? I don't know what Threat got going on. You feel me?
Well, regardless of what happened that night, a whole lot of chaos happened right afterwards. You go to Miami, and then a bunch of shootings start to happen. So the same night that Nut gets killed, your girlfriend's mother's house got shot up. Right?
I think it was.
And then the same night, your brother's neighbor's house got shot up by mistake. And then I guess later on, when the shooters figured out they had the wrong house, they went back and shot up your brother's house.
Yeah, I think that's how they went.
Okay. So you're out of town, but you're getting the calls. How are you dealing with your mother, well, your girlfriend's mother's house, and so your baby's potentially at that house, right?
I was still in town when they shot up that house.
Okay, so you were still in town. Okay. Was your baby in that house that got shot up?
Nobody wasn't in the house, I think.
Okay.
My child, I think she was still in the hospital at that time.
Okay. Thank God. Your baby could have gotten killed that night.
Nah, no she wouldn't. Somebody else would have.
Right. But how are you dealing with this? Now 2 people close to you have had their house shot up over something they're blaming you for, obviously. Well, the streets are blaming you for this. Because otherwise, that's the only reason why this is happening.
How did I deal with it?
Yeah.
How did I do it with it? I had a lot of people, telling me just chill out. A whole lot of people just like chill, and I didn't want to chill out. You know what I mean? So that's how I dealt with it.
Did you feel like you know who did the shootings at that time?
Not really, because it was so much going on that you just knew that, you know what I mean, it couldn't be one person, or, you know what I mean, you knew that it had to be it had to be different people.
Yeah. Okay. And then YFN Lucci's house gets shot up. So I'm not saying that those things are related necessarily, but I'm saying there's a lot of chaos that's happening right now in Atlanta. And then there was a situation with you where you were at a party and someone tried to shoot you during a drive-by.
A party?
No? That didn't happen?
Yeah, I don't think I ain't go to no party. Oh, you talking about the hotel?
Possibly.
Oh yeah, nigga shot Cub like driving real fast. That what you talking about?
Possibly. So what, you were at a hotel and someone drove by and just started shooting up?
Nah, I was on the expressway, on the highway, and a car just flew past shooting.
Okay. Well then, on February 19th, 2015, which is 6 weeks after Nut gets killed, you were leaving your baby mother's house with your daughter in a car seat. What happens next?
Well, she was crying, taking her to the hospital. I came out the door, seeing the cussing right there. They pulled up, they wanted her down. I protected my family.
Right. It was like a silver car pulled up, and then someone put a rifle out the window and started shooting.
Well, as they stuck the gun out, I heard one shot, and then I blanked out. Like I just kept seeing my gun just, doing what it's supposed to do.
Right. Well, according to reports, I think, didn't you take your daughter back in the house first?
No.
No.
The neighbors let us in.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah, the neighbors, the neighbors came out. As everything was going on, the neighbors were walking out. And it happened, then the neighbors dropped their stuff and ran. So as we were going back and forth, because at first, when I first did it, they just pulled off. I didn't know why they pulled off. But then I seen somebody try to get back out the window. I started back, and then we was able to get through the first set of doors. And that's when we got through the doors, we realized we left the keys in the car. And the neighbors my baby mama hit the neighbor door. They opened the door and let us in.
Okay. Well, you returned fire, as you should, because you're protecting your family. I feel like you're totally justified in this. And I guess someone in the car got shot, and they crashed the car. Ultimately, well, you called the police, right, to report? No?
They was already out there.
They're already out there.
Yeah.
But the police questioned you and you explained the situation with them, to them, and they agreed that it was self-defense.
Well, I lied, really. Like, when they asked me, I blamed somebody else. Like, this person did the shooting. But when they came and I seen that they knew me, I just went ahead like, all right, that was me.
All right. According to reports, you told the cops that Tay
was
the shooter, who is Dante Fleetwood.
No, I told them that Tay was the person who was with me shooting back.
Oh, okay.
But when the gang unit came and they recognized it was me, and they knew damn well, like I couldn't lie and say, so I just went ahead and told them it was me who was shooting back. So, they told me to get on that gun within 24 hours. In 24 hours, they came with the SWAT team to lock me up.
Right. So you got hit with a weapons charge in April.
No, I got hit with probation violation.
Probation violation.
Because I never gave the weapon up.
Aha. Right. Well, because I read that you were caught with a Diamondback .223 rifle.
That was down the line.
Oh, that was later on?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So after that, what were you? Probation violation.
So for the shooting with me and my daughter and my baby mama, they told me to get on 24 hours to get on the gun. And when they let me go, they didn't hear from me in 24 hours. They came with my probation officer to my probation address with the SWAT team, and then they locked me up for violating probation because they couldn't get me with nothing else. So they got me with violation of probation, hold me in jail 3 weeks. Then I got out of jail, like within 72 hours, I was back in jail because I got out of jail a day before I had to go to court for the charges in Henry County, which was the shoplifting. I missed it. They put a warrant out of me, so when I called to try to screen it out, the public defender told me to just turn myself in. I was like, are you crazy? I just sat in jail a whole month for these charges. So I was like, forget them. And then, no, I'm wrong. Somehow I missed court. I went to Henry County and tried to get it situated. They locked me up. That's what happened. Henry County locked me up for failure to appear after I went in the courthouse to try to get it situated. That's when I paid the lawyer to get me out. As soon as he got me out, the next day after I got out of jail, that's when they came in the recreation center and got me.
Is that where you got the 5 years?
Yes.
Okay. And this was a Fed case?
That was, it became, Atlanta gave it to the feds.
And the feds took it on?
Yeah, the feds took over.
Okay. And that got you 5 years in the feds?
I played it out to it, yeah.
What were you facing if you blew trial?
Like, almost the same thing. My guidelines were like, they gave me 60 months. My guideline was like 78 to like 84 months or something like that. So it's like I got like a year or two. By taking the plea, I got like a year or two off or whatever. I don't know.
It's also the feds with a 98% conviction rate, so.
Well, their conviction rate is just high because, before they get you, they got everything on you.
Right. And everyone also pleads out.
Right. I could have won in trial.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
Yeah, I had to fire 2 public defenders. The third one, her name Sarah Lynn Smith. She got in there and she fought for me so hard, but when she explained to me why roll the dice if I plea out and just had to do like 6 more months at the longest, because I was sitting there fighting a motion to suppress the evidence for almost 3 years.
Well, you go back to federal prison, and then Shell Kell, who you got into it with at Club Chaos, in November of that year gets charged with gang and weapons charges in a drive-by that targeted Shannon Stillwell. Shannon was one of the people accused of killing Nut. And what they say is that YFN members saw Stillwell at a restaurant in Atlanta. They shot up the car that he was in. Stillwell survived, but the driver, a girl named Tiana Bogan Jones, who was a 25-year-old mother of 2, she died from a headshot.
Sorry.
You heard about that situation?
Yeah, I saw it.
What'd you think when you heard that? Just is what it is.
No, it's just like, get who you trying to get.
I mean, it's always sad when...
Not I mean, like, people pull up with their eyes closed again, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I don't want to provoke people, you feel what I'm saying, for what I had to say. But it's just like too many innocent people, you feel what I'm saying? Like,
well, yeah, I mean, there's 2 kids now that are growing up without a mom over something that she had nothing to do with.
Nothing to know about.
She was just driving.
When I first heard it, I heard a different story, and I was just like, well, that's what people get. But then I found out that that wasn't the case, you feel me? So it was like,
Yeah.
because I was told that, they tried to set him up, the girl, so I'm like, so I had a different heart towards it. But then when I found out that wasn't the case, and that, you know what I mean, the whole car was targeted, I was just like, well, and from my understanding, I heard Shell Kell was dismissed from that case, so I don't think he had anything to do with it because they didn't charge him or whatever. But again, you know, if it don't involve me, I don't put my ears. I hear stuff, and that be it.
Okay, but now you're in the feds yourself for 5 years, and you served a little less than that?
They made me do that because I had like probation and like pending charges. They made me do my whole 51 months.
Okay. And this is the longest stretch at this point you'd ever done?
Yeah, this is the first time I ever been locked up that long.
What was the worst thing about being in the feds?
Losing people. When my brother got killed, that shit hurt it.
How'd your brother get killed?
Some dudes tried to rob him, and I guess he got tired of it, you know what I mean? Like, he ain't mess with nobody, you feel me? He did his thing and stayed in his own lane. So niggas tried to rob him, and I heard that he, you know, tried to defend himself, and they got off a lucky shot.
Sorry for your loss, man. Any fights?
Yeah.
Situations in prison?
Yeah, if you go to jail and not have no fight, then, you know what I mean? I don't know what type of dude you is.
What was the most violent situation you got into while locked up?
In which situation?
In the feds.
The versus one, it was one, and it's the only one that I lost. I didn't have many fights though, cause I didn't mess with people. I mind my own business, but I allow one person to team up with some more people when I should have just went ahead and just got it on before he even got some help. Some dudes that claimed they this and that. I just get into it with him, you know what I mean? And he just be like, he bigger than me. So my thing is, I'm size you up. I size him up, and I had a better chance to get him but you know me, I was just like, man, I can overlook it, so I ain't stunning. He got 2 people to come in there that, you know what I mean, felt like that I was too humble, I was too laid back. They wanted to see that wild side of me. But I'm in jail to get out, not to stay. So I'm gonna go up under the radar. They jumped on me. They came in the room while I was asleep. Nigga like, bro, you gotta get on the door. Like, I've been the whole time. Ain't nobody else put me on the door. So, but I didn't know if they were for real because it's just like, you just got into it with a civilian. Y'all need to be in that civilian room. Or y'all want to come free pick me, huh? Because I'm little, on the free pick. All right, cool. How y'all want it? Nigga like, when I was like, y'all for real? Like, yeah, I punched him in the mouth. The biggest one, I hit him in the mouth. He froze up. You feel me? Like, you weren't even ready. You playing with me. So, you know, the other two can't help him. They jumped on him. They beat the hell out of me. But, you know, the whole time they beat me up, I keep saying, I'm going to see y'all in the street. I'm saying it in my head, I'm going to see y'all in the street. And still to this day, like, I'm still praying that God give me the strength to keep walking. Because y'all violate me. You put y'all hands and feet on me. Like, I ain't did nothing to y'all. Y'all run for people that don't even care nothing about y'all. If y'all would have died, these folk wouldn't even acknowledge y'all present. So y'all want to play with me? Yeah. So, you know, they jumped on me. I stayed in there. I didn't go on the door. But I felt that I needed to go to the hospital, to medical. And if I would have, you know, got the police attention, they were going to tell, they could look at my face and tell, because my eye was bloodshot. And then I had one on kicked me in the eye, so it was bloodshot. I think it was swole. So I had to hide my face from the officer the whole day, but the whole time I was plotting on them. So I'm like, I gotta go to the medical. I can't let that lock down because in the morning they liable to catch my face when we do head count. So I waited on one on to move out the crew, and I attacked. You know what I mean? Because I know how niggas here, they run in packs, catch them by themselves, what they gonna do? And I caught him in front of them in the day room, and they did exactly what I knew they were gonna do, watch. Because they cowards. Y'all jump in that room, jump in the day room. Lord knows I wouldn't be able to take it, but I just took a risk.
Okay, well, eventually you get out. That was around 2019, 2020?
Yeah, I got out 19.
19. But then that next year you get locked up again?
And I got out 2019. I got locked up in 2020.
What's the charge you get locked up for in 2020?
A gun.
Okay.
But they didn't have a gun.
They planted a gun on you?
A girl I was talking to got mad. I didn't want to talk to her no more. And just kept calling the police every time I showed my location. She was telling the police I had guns. And then one day they pulled up on me, and I had a lot of money on me. I was just flexing on live. And it was too many police to be pulling up on me, so I panicked. I took out running, which I knew they weren't gonna catch me. I ran, got away, and they ended up shooting my dog.
Shot your dog?
Yeah, they shot the dog.
What kind of dog?
A pit bull. So, as the police came up in the yard, I was mad that I didn't record it. But I lift up him, I'm like, I don't got no weapon. I show him, but he tried to he forced me to run. Cause he tried to tackle me. And my reaction was jump back, and I push him, get up on me. And then I take out running. But the dog was on top of the gate, cause I got a dog that like to jump. And he watching, and then the kids try to put the dog in the house, and he come out the door and, you know, ran behind the police. And police turned around, I heard a gunshot, but I ain't know where it was. I was trying to get up through there.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry. I got a Rottweiler at home.
The dog lived, though.
Oh, the dog lives?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
lived.
what's up.
He's still here today, too.
All right.
Yeah, I should have brought him up here with me.
I know, right? Okay, so you get arrested for that, and then how much time do you spend over that?
I got away, so what they did was they put a warrant out for my arrest. They went on my Instagram and said that it appears that I had a gun on my hip in the video and put out a warrant just based off their video. So they
But they didn't physically see the gun.
No, they didn't.
That could have been anything.
Right. And
could
then
have been a toy gun.
Even in the police report, it appears to be a gun. But they used that to put a warrant out of me. And they came to my house, they came deep. They came with all type, but they tricked me. They had my probation officer to show them how the house was set up. I should have knew something wrong, but I ain't been doing nothing. Then next thing you know, 2 days later, they was out there with grass hanging from their face. And, you know, they got me. Then they claimed that they found another gun at the house. So they charged me with that too. But they found it was a car parked in the driveway, and they said it was a gun in the car. And they said I was driving the car.
Okay, so October 27th, you were driving a girl's car that you were dating. You get pulled over for a lane violation, swerving in traffic.
I didn't get pulled over.
No?
No. I was walking outside of the store. And I was on live talking to a girl. I just hear my friend say, "Don't look back, the police behind us."
Okay.
But when I hear police, I'm looking back. I need to see how close they on me. And when I seen it, they was real close. But I didn't pay attention to all the people on the street. But I was just like, what? And you know, they pulled up and tried to block me in. Again, they forced me to run. They put up in front of me real fast. I did what I know, jumped back. But when I seen all the people running towards me, I realized they were polices. I didn't have nowhere to run, so he shot me in the face with the taser. It bounced out my face. Pulling my shoulder, they couldn't get me, but one of them just dived on my back, tucking me to the ground. They pulled my shoulder out of play. Got me, took the car keys, and went to looking for the car. And when they found the car, they claimed that they found the gun in the car.
Okay. Because I think that was a situation where you get interrogated?
Yes.
Okay. So, and this interrogation video ultimately comes out. Now, in that, in that interrogation room, you check your pulse. You look stressed out in that whole situation. And what the police tell you is that they've been watching you for months or even years. They talk about how places where you go get sprayed up with gunfire. They say they're following your social media. They talk about how a few days before you get arrested, on social media you called out Shell Kell when you were on IG Live. And then later on, a shooting happened at his apartment complex. Not to say you're anything related to it, but this is what they're trying to put on you in the interrogation room.
You got one officer that's sitting there, and this is what she do. She tries her best to pin everything on us as much as she can. A shooting happened in the apartment complex, right? Before the shooting happened, I had posted that I was at this location right here 20, 30 minutes, an hour before it happened. But the shooting happened up there, and you try to say, oh, because I was up there 2-3 hours ago, it was because of me. But I posted I'm right here 30 minutes to an hour before the shooting happened. So even when the shooting happened, you know what happened? We heard it. The police pulled up and sat right there where we was. And guess what? They said we didn't know nothing about it, and we got in the car and rolled off about our business. They didn't even, so it's just like they just try to take all the stuff to put it off on us.
Okay, so you're in this interrogation room, and, I went through the transcripts of it and so forth. You're saying something to the effect of, you're feeling bitter about the whole situation because you weren't being financially supported by YSL, but you're being exposed to all the risks of gang life. So the cop says, Thug doesn't care about you. We've had this talk 100 times. You said, do you think I care about him? The cop says, but you keep putting yourself in these bad situations. So you say, well, what can I tell you to help me out? Because I'm not trying to waste y'all's time. I've been put in these bad situations trying to help people out, trying to stop this shit. He's not gonna stop until Kell's dead. He don't give a fuck. He don't care who he hits. You remember this part of the conversation?
To be honest with you, I didn't even I don't keep up with it because I know how I am. I'm full of shit. You feel me? So I'm pretty sure you didn't grow up in the neighborhood. We talked a lot to the police off the rip. You know what I mean? And these police knew I was lying. You feel me? They knew I was lying from the get-go. So, it should be self-explanatory, man.
Well, yeah, you also say, man, this is on God. I come around Thug and tell him this is stupid. They're going to get you. I said the police are going to get you. The cop says, what did he say? You say, he, I know. The cop says, he don't care. And you say, no, he don't. He's ready. I said, you're going to fuck around with the cops and they don't like it. They're gonna go out to get you. They're going to watch for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And the cop says, and pay $2 million for a lawyer for all the killings and all the stuff. You see, it's going to be like Florida. Somebody's going to call and say all the feds outside lined up. And I know what I mean? But it's just like, well, make sure you don't take me with you because at the end of the day, I don't have nothing to do with this shit you've got going on. And he's like, bitch, fuck you.
Don't it sound like some bullshit?
I mean, you know,
I'll say, what's your honest opinion? Do it sound like some bullshit
it
or
sounds
not?
crazy.
I'm just,
It
you gotta
sounds crazy.
understand, man. You know what I mean? Like, if you compare my interrogation footage, right, to somebody else, they say, what they doing? They crying. They now really trying to, convince. Man, I'm just telling the police, I'm an angel. When they know damn well that's the last thing I am. You feel me? It's just like, man, you don't take a rocket science to see through bullshit. And if you listening, I think somebody was speaking on it. I overheard something where it was like, the last DA didn't want to touch it because they knew that I was bullshit. So it's just like, their whole motive behind this situation was to destroy it. Like, okay, let's just get it and just destroy it one way or another one. You know what I mean? And God worked in a mysterious way that he ain't, the spirit wouldn't allow that to happen.
Well, were you put in Fulton County Jail around this time?
Yeah.
Okay. Fulton County Jail, which was investigated by the feds over the last year and a half, is considered the worst murder jail in the country. Last year, there were stabbings every single day. In fact, there were 400 stabbings in the last year. That means more than one a day. And I guess, and I kind of looked into this, the way the jail is built and just how shoddy the walls are, that people could like literally pull the walls out and pull metal bars out the walls and make knives with it. And they've heard of situations where people dig through the walls to get at their enemies in the jail.
The jail is crazy. It's not even like that. A weapon ain't easy to get. But people fear for their life, man. They gonna make a way. You know what I mean? They gonna make a way to turn something to a weapon. And there's 400 stabbing reported. What about the ones who scared to report it?
Right. I guess the jail has a hard time trying to classify gang affiliations. So they don't know who's who and who's down with who, and next thing you know, people are getting stabbed left and right.
It's impossible to because everybody from Atlanta don't even interact with each other, grew up around each other, just, you feel me? So it's like, they don't care. They don't care. As soon as somebody say something to them officers be like, get them. And you got...
So the cops actually encourage the violence?
I ain't never seen it. I'm just assuming.
Okay.
I ain't never seen it.
Did you feel that being in that jail, did that influence you to cooperate based on the threat to your life?
No. My name is what it is, Woody. And people who think they know me, the ones who actually ran across me, I didn't have problems at Fulton County. I didn't get in fights and stabbings at Rice Street. Not one time.
So you never got stabbed?
Never got stabbed in Rice Street. I never been in a position in Rice Street where nobody jumped on me or did anything harmful to me. If I got into a fight, it's because I rode with somebody else. You know what I mean? I go sit back and do my time, try to learn and get out. I treat people how they treat me. If you care about me, I care about you. If you don't give a fuck about me, I don't give a fuck about you.
Okay. The interrogation footage eventually leaks out, and people think it was one of the defendants because 28 people were ultimately charged later on with the racketeering, and they all had access to that interrogation footage. And they ultimately leaked it at one point.
Nah, the state leaked it.
Oh, you think the state leaked it? Okay.
Yeah.
Just to pressure you.
See, to some people, I'm a wild card. And my life don't matter. Those defendants leaking their interrogation footage, it doesn't help them. It only hurts them. So why would they do that? People think I'm stupid. And it's okay. I might be. And, that's how I knew the state did it. I noticed what they've been doing the whole time. They have reached out to me so many times. Hey, man, can we interview? Nope, y'all can't interview me. But as soon as they catch me in handcuffs, they want to sit me down and allow me to sit right here and make up all these damn stories and then come back and try to, because you know, God working mysterious way, man. I ain't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how much could I say, you know what I mean, due to the fact that it's still open right now. So, and I'm being targeted. You know what I mean? They pulled me over yesterday.
Well, was it during this time that your girlfriend, who was actually a cop, she went into the evidence locker and she tried to remove your phone from the evidence and delete the messages and social media pages?
No, they just, I want to say this officer name so bad, but when that officer got it hard for you, that officer got it hard for you. And I'm not going to say that officer name, but that officer didn't like the way that I was being defended by that girl that I was dating, and decided I'm gonna make her, they gonna make her life harder. So all she did was got on the phone with me and said that, what's your Instagram password? Not to hide evidence or anything like that. You know how females are. They want to go through and catch you up. And that's what she wanted. She wanted to go to my social media to, you know, try to see what girls I was talking to and stuff. So she asked for it on the phone. Give me your password. And they tried to say she tried to get that to go wipe out my phone and delete evidence. If I got a gang member profile, why you got to use my Instagram to go say that I'm a gang member?
Well, but I'm saying in the reports it says that she went into the evidence locker.
No, she didn't.
She didn't? Okay.
No, she didn't.
Okay. Well,
I don't have a clue about none of that. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't the type to sit on that phone. You see, they didn't really have no jail conversation with me.
Well, right, because she actually was arrested 2 days after interrogation, right?
Right.
Did she lose her job?
So, yeah, she lost her job.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know, I regret it. You know what I mean? But it was out of my control. It's nothing that, you feel me? Like, they did that intentionally to her. You feel me? Because she was dating me.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's just like, and they just shows. You know what I mean? They can flex their muscles however they want.
Well, originally you were charged on state level, but the gun is a federal crime. But the feds never actually charged you. And then, you know, later on, the state charges end up being dropped, right?
I'm listening.
No, is that accurate?
Can you say it again?
Okay, so they catch you with a gun, which is a Fed case.
Which time?
Well, right around 2021.
Okay.
Right around this time. But you never actually officially got charged for that crime.
I did.
You did?
Yeah, the gun that they charged me with in 21, yeah.
Ah, okay.
I got charged with a gun in 2020. I stayed out there 14 months, got out, and got charged with another gun 90 days later.
Aha. Okay. And then that caused you to go back to prison for the 2 years?
I wasn't pleading out to them. Like, y'all throwing charges on me. So it's like, if possession is
On you.
dispossession.
Right.
You went all the way around the corner and claimed that you found a gun that I had no knowledge. Like, I had no clue it was a gun in the car. And still, to this day, be like, man, they lying. They never even showed me a gun. So it's just like, when they took me to the headquarters, police precinct, they be like, they found a gun in the car. If you look at the interview, you see, like, I'm lost like hell. Like, no, you didn't.
Well, because you had multiple interrogations. And wasn't in one of the interrogations you said that you'll help them arrest Young Thug and stuff like that?
I probably did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm very fast.
Do you regret that now?
You said, do I regret it?
Yeah, saying that.
What you mean?
Well, once it came out, now, they have you saying all this crazy shit.
It wasn't no long run thinking that I was doing. It was just in that moment trying to tell these people anything to get them to believe me, to trust me, to let me walk out that door. And then whatever happened on the back end, it just happened. But at that moment, my only mind was, get out of there.
Okay. Because then they send you back to prison for 2 years?
No, they gave me 15, served 3.
15, served 3, right. And then right around that time, May 2021, YFN Lucci with, 11 other people get charged in a 105-count RICO case. And Lucci was facing racketeering, violating the state's anti-gang law, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. I guess a shootout happened, and someone in the car returned fire, and the passenger that Lucci was with ends up getting killed, and they try to put the murder on him based on his you know, being in the vicinity of it all. Did you know Lucci at all?
Not person.
Okay.
Like, I knew of him.
Got it. Okay. And then, well, I guess you're serving time at this time. And then May 9th, 2022, Young Thug gets arrested on RICO charges with 27 other people, 56 count indictment. Fonnie Willis, the DA, said that Young Thug was the leader of Young Slime Life operation, and he was called King Slime. Thug was accused of participating in violent street activities, conspiring to violate the RICO Act. He was tied to accusations of murder, assault, robbery, theft, gun possession, illegal drug possession, and other situations around Atlanta since 2012. And then Thug's house gets raided 2 days later, and they found Glocks with switches and guns. So he got 6 additional felony charges. Then Gunna turned himself in 2 days later. He gets charged with 1 count of conspiracy to violate RICO. And really everything is going crazy. And they're looking at you as almost a star witness of this whole situation. Now, you're in jail when all this is happening, all the raids and all the arrests?
Yes. I was in prison.
Right, in prison. State prison or feds?
State prison.
You're in state prison. Is state prison worse than the feds?
Yes.
What makes it worse?
Yeah, a bunch of broke people together. You know what I mean? Knuckleheads. The feds, you have people that they probably never been around this type of, you know what I mean, environment. So it's just like people in the feds, they do their time. Feds are more mature, and the state is immature. Okay. That's the difference.
Okay. When you find out that 27 people in YSL get arrested, including Young Thug, who you had a relationship with, what did you think?
I laid back on the bed and I prayed. I thank God that I was in charge. I prayed for them who was charged. I was confused. I was lost. I didn't have a clue what the hell was going on because I didn't understand, you know, people can say I'm a star witness all they want, but I didn't understand why they didn't charge me. But I'm very thankful and grateful, and you know, they didn't charge me because I didn't commit no crimes. So.
But did you know at that point that you're going to get dragged into this case?
I had an idea.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, I wish I could say what I wanted to say, but I'm not going to say it on this camera.
Okay. Well, everyone gets arrested. No one's given bond. A few months later, Gunna ended up doing a plea deal. And he gets in front of the judge, and the judge says, YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge of YSL members having committed crimes in furtherance of the gang. And Gunna said, yes, ma'am. She said some other stuff, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Gunna walks free. A lot of people were saying that's snitching. Other people were saying it's not snitching. I remember his lawyer was calling me around this time, and he was like breaking down the situation to me because we were covering it, you know, in the news. He basically said the way he structured this plea deal, Gunna is not going to hurt anybody, and he's not going to take the stand in the trial because it'd be self-incrimination because the feds could supersede the indictment. So anything he says could be used by the feds. So therefore, the deal they worked out doesn't hurt Young Thug or anyone else on the case. Did you know Gunna at all? Mm-hmm. Were you guys close?
No, we wasn't close, but, you know, I know him.
You've been around. What did you think of this plea deal?
Anybody that ever been locked up, I bet those most are the ones that feel like he didn't. A lot of people ain't been to the Fed, so people don't understand how the Fed operate. My thing is, the way I look at it is, you did it to somebody who don't go through the procedures. They don't know nothing about this jail stuff. So, you know, I feel like what he did didn't hurt. Nothing he said or did that day is gonna be brought up during the trial. You know, God is good, the Fed's not gonna touch it. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I didn't look at Gunna no difference. You know what I mean? But you know, what would it say doesn't matter. But people don't understand. I've been locked up enough times to know that, okay, what he did was he snitching. He didn't sit down and get the police no statement. He didn't sit down and say this and that and third. He just agreed, yes, yes, yes. Now, third plea was different because, you know, he didn't sit there and say yes, 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 but he had more people, you know, telling him how to move forward than Gunna did. You know what I mean? And he was able to learn from watching what Gunna went through.
Okay, so Gunna walks free, and a bunch of other people accepted plea deals with like 15-year probations and so forth. I think Young Thug's brother, Unfunk, ended up violating his probation because he got caught with a gun. He goes back in for, I think, 5 years.
From my understanding, he didn't get caught. The police just put their charge on him.
Oh.
From my understanding, because the people whose weapon it was said that they left it in the car and they tried to take it. So,
do you feel, and you saw a bunch of these plea deals that were happening during this time, and I never heard of 15-year probation, 25-year probation, but they were handing out these insane probation numbers. Do you think they're purposely doing that because, look, we're going to get this person to cooperate, it's going to help our case, we're going to put him back on the street, and we're going to do something, or we're going to let him mess up and we'll put him right back in jail and we get, you know what I mean?
Welcome to Fulton County.
That's how it works out there, huh?
Anybody step foot in that jail, leaving on probation.
Then going right back in for something else.
Well, you got some that get out and walk the straight line and don't go back. If you don't walk the straight line, then you going back.
Right. And YFN Lucci gets stabbed in jail in Fulton County, I believe, right?
I saw it.
Yeah. What'd you think when you saw that?
It was lame. You feel me? Like,
they actually just released a video of it recently.
Yeah, that's when I seen it. Like,
yeah.
That was lame. You feel what I'm saying? People be putting themselves in shit they don't have nothing to do with them. You feel me?
You never got stabbed yourself?
I hell got stabbed.
Oh, you did get stabbed?
In state prison, yeah.
Oh, so during that state stint, you got stabbed?
Yeah, I did.
Over what?
I got stabbed because niggas, they wasn't used to seeing a quiet, humble side of me. So they thought I was scared. They thought, they tried to trick me, man. For real, for real. That would open my eyes. You got one dude bring me a knife and tell me what's about to happen. And you got this same dude that bring me the knife, go tell these dudes that, hey, look, y'all go over here, do this to him so they could trick me to a higher level of security and also take away my parole date that's coming up. So, me, I was already hip because I had somebody else over there. Like, people act like they don't like me, but you always got somebody to come back and tell me something. And an older dude came back and told me what was going on. But he was like, just go to the hole. Like, you got 30 days left. And my pride was in the way. I'm like, I got a knife. I ain't letting nobody run me off the yard or put me in, you know what I mean? So what I did, I was a bit hard-headed, went out there, seen the dude, and waited on him. There was two of them with me by myself. And then there's another guy come out that was, claiming he was, from around the way that I was. And he was like, but y'all ain't finna jump with it. So it was two of them, it was two of us. The whole time I got the knife cuffed in my hand, you can't see it. But the other boy, he ain't even from Atlanta. He from country town in Georgia. He pull out a knife, but he was alone. When he pull out the knife, I still kept mine cuffed because I knew mine was short. And he whip out like, what's up? So he say, what's up? I tried to stab him in the face. When I tried to stab him in the face, he went back. And I went down. As I went down, he hit me right in the arm. And it went through, it came out right here. Soon as I felt it, I got 30 days to go home, and I just did this stupid stuff on camera. I grabbed myself and ran back inside the units because I had white on. I didn't want the blood to get there. Where I ran, the officer saw me and everything. She let me in. I went over there and wrapped myself up. Once I got right and healed up, I come back out there for some more. But the old head like, man, you tripping. You got a lot to lose. And I let them, talk me into it. I'm like, put my pride to the side, went to the hole. And, I stayed in the hole till it was time for me to get out.
Okay, that was the only time you got stabbed?
Yes.
Did you ever stab someone?
If I had to.
Okay, fair enough. I'll leave it at that. Well, the YSL trial starts. Early on in the trial, one of the co-defendants, Khalif Adams, walks by Young Thug and tries to hand him a pill in open court. Did you see that?
I heard about it, but I don't believe this.
No, you actually see it on camera. He's actually handing, and then Thug's
the
like,
camera make it the camera look like something that it might not be, man. I don't see some on camera that wasn't what it looked like it was. You get what I'm saying? I just didn't think there was something Thug could do. Like,
I don't think Thug tried to make that happen, because they just basically handed over the pills, and then Khalif ends up catching new charges over that.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is.
Khalif Adams? No idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that was the lawyer.
No.
When I used to hear that name, I thought that was the black lawyer name. What's the black lawyer name? Thug lawyer. The black bald head guy.
I don't know. I just know Brian Steele.
Dang. Yeah, they got to do a great job.
That's the superstar on that team. Okay. Well, and then one of the other co-defendants from YSL, Shannon Stillwell, got stabbed multiple times in Fulton County by another inmate. He survived, but he got stabbed in the back, stomach, and the shoulder. An inmate named Willie Brown admitted to the stabbing. Do you know these two guys?
I don't know no Willie Brown.
Do you know Shannon Stillwell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And them boys would not approach him.
How'd you hear it? So you guys friends?
Yeah.
How'd you feel when your friend got stabbed up in Fulton?
How you feel if somebody stabs your people up?
Yeah, upset. Okay. But then in 2023, they let you out of prison.
I was released.
You were released. Did you still have time?
How you know I was released? Because you showed DM me.
I don't know. The word was out that you were released.
Nobody didn't know I was released but you.
Okay. Maybe I didn't know you were released. I saw the name. I saw Instagram. Are you saying that I'm the police and I somehow have insider info? I have no idea.
Because they had me on house arrest, so I didn't want to expose that I was out as long as they had it on my leg. And you right in my DM.
I think I DM'd you around the time that the interrogation footage came out.
No, you DM'd me 2 weeks after, a week after I was released.
Hey man, listen, I have no idea. If you I honestly could tell you I did not have any inside information about you being released during that time. You can believe me or not believe me, you know what I'm saying? But I'll leave this in the footage. I'll leave this in the footage.
You had to.
People could, people could come up to their own conclusions. Yeah, I don't know.
No, I think few people have spoke very highly of you, just like you ain't really the police.
I've been doing this for 16 years, man. You would think I have a successful business. Why would I be the police?
So why you be asking like the questions that you ask?
Because this is what I'm known for, right?
Ask a question, they're gonna lead somebody back to the slim?
Well, listen, out of the thousands of people that I've interviewed over the last 16 years, the only time I've ever heard of an interview being used against someone in court, and this hasn't even been used yet, was the Keefe D case. You know, the guy who was accused of killing Tupac?
Mm-hmm. Is it real?
Well, we'll see. He's got a trial coming up. But before I did that interview, he wrote a book detailing his involvement in that murder. And that's why I interviewed him.
And he admitted to it in the book?
In the book, he admitted to it. Yeah.
God, it's so good, ain't it?
So if you're going to write a book about your crimes that you haven't been convicted of, I'm going to do an interview with you about it. I'm not going to talk about a murder that you've never been convicted for in general. But if you wrote a book about it and you feel you're comfortable, and the book was on Amazon. It's not like this was a book he was handing out to his friends.
Well, I'm not surprised. This is what black people do. That's what we do. We sit right there and get away with what we did, and then we go to...
Man, clout. Clout is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but that's the only time I've ever heard a VladTV interview being connected to an actual case. Because every other interview I do, I'm very careful about statute of limitations, talk about things you've already been convicted for and so forth. But I'm not going to talk about unsolved murders and stuff like that.
But that's a limitation for state. The feds is a different story. You know that.
There's still a statute of limitations, though.
Not if you trying to make it a gang charge. Cause I was locked up with some dudes that the feds went back years on some stuff that they did. The Gangster Disciples. I was in there with them guys.
Yeah. Like I said, I have yet to see a VladTV interview being used in a court case. And you could go through all the transcripts. There's always been lots of...
They got my altar porch. They got my DJU. They got my No Jumper. They got my Danza Project. All them was just used in the Young Thug trial.
Right, and that's why they want to interview you while Young Thug was on trial.
And I know
right?
You said it. Yeah, you said it.
I said it.
Right.
Yeah, I said I don't want to have this interview because I don't want our interview to be part of that
You also
case.
told me nobody was going to never pay me the amount of money that I want.
But I think you asked for like $50,000 back then.
I still want 50.
And I was right.
Yeah. No, you going to pay that 50,000. I just like...
No, and no one's paid you $50,000.
I didn't charge my... I just told you 50,000.
Right. And I told you no one's going to pay you $50,000. And I was right.
You paid what I want.
And I was right.
I was being paid with 50,000, but what I did, I showed you I wasn't going to budge though, right?
Well...
I told you nobody get no interview.
Am I paying $50,000 for this interview right now?
Nah, I was
There
paying.
you go.
I was
That's
paying
my
about
point.
50,000, but I told you I wasn't going... Last year, I told you I wasn't going to do no interview unless somebody give me what I want.
Okay.
Right?
And that was $50,000 at the time.
Now, I thought I told you 25,000.
Well,
I told you 50 to be petty, but
right.
I said you 25,000.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Okay, so the trial goes on, and Tick takes the stand. And he said that himself, Young Thug, and Walter Murphy were the founding members of YSL. Do you know Tick?
Yeah.
You guys close? What ultimately happened with his case? Did he get sentenced or did they let him out?
He moved on with his life.
Okay, so he's done with that whole situation. Okay. Didn't seem like it really made much of a difference in that trial. But the trial's going on, and it just gets more and more ridiculous. So one of the defense attorneys, Attorney Nicole Fegan, she was representing a former co-defendant, Tanquarius Mender, and I guess she told him to get rid of a murder weapon, and she got caught doing that, so she gets charged with criminal street gang activity and evidence tampering. You heard about this? Yeah. I'm not sure what ultimately happened, but the lawyer gets charged. And, you had one of the YSL defendants that was acting crazy on the stand, was making faces. And...
How you know he was acting?
Oh, you think that was really him?
I don't know him.
Oh, you don't know?
I never seen him a day in my life.
Okay. And it just seemed like the trial is dragging on. It's getting more and more ridiculous. And then it gets put on hold on July 1st. Because a secret meeting happens in the judge's quarters where you're there, the judge is there, your lawyer is there, but the defense lawyer, Brian Steele, is not present during this meeting. So the defendants argued that because Judge Glanville had a secret ex parte meeting with prosecutors and a witness for the prosecution without having any defense attorneys or defendants present, that was an improper meeting, and they felt that they should recuse the judge. What exactly happened in that meeting?
I don't have a clue. I was lost, man. I didn't know. I never been this side of the courthouse. I didn't know where I was going. I was scared. I thought I would lose my life. I thought they would do some CIA type shit to me.
Did you realize that you were having a legal meeting at the time?
I didn't have a clue what was going on.
Okay.
I didn't even, when I played the fifth, I thought I was going to the jail and stay at the jail. But when they did what they did to me at the jail, then they isolated me, and then they not let me talk to nobody. And then Monday came, they was at the jail looking for me. After they done put me right here, they couldn't even find where they put me at. So when they got me, I'm like, what's going on? They took me to court, and then they just took me straight up in the judge's office. What the hell I'm doing in the judge's office?
Right. Thug's lawyer, Brian Steele, said they're trying to pressure you into testifying when you didn't want to testify. And then when he brought this up in court, the judge got upset and tried to force Brian Steele to say where he got the source for this meeting. He refused. So he actually threatened to lock up the lawyer.
I don't think he threatened it. I think he did lock him up though, right?
Yeah, I think he may have gotten arrested that day. Yeah, I think he got cuffed. And he said that, when he gets locked up, he wants to be in the same cell as Young Thug so they could work on the case together. Man, this is going to be the most sought after lawyer on the planet.
For real, I was in the holding tank. And when I was in the holding tank and I seen the sheriff bring it, Brian Steele back there.
Oh, you actually saw Brian Steele being
It broke my heart.
taken to the holding tank.
It broke my heart, man.
Huh.
I looked at the lawyer. I didn't know what was going on, but the way he looked at me, he gave me a look that just like, then it made me cry. It was like, damn. I knew that the lawyer was in trouble just by the look that he gave me, and it was just like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna say the look that he gave me. He gave me a look like, damn, man, this all your fault. And when I saw that look on his face, like, my conscience eating at me because, you know what I mean? But it's like, these people, they doing this intentionally. You feel me? Like, I done told these people a million times. Every chance I got, I made it up. I was lying. You feel me?
All right, because the prosecutors wanted you on the stand because you were the only person that could tie Young Thug to the rental car that was used in Nuts' murder. That was their whole purpose. You were their star witness.
How am I y'all star witness if we never came to we never sat down and had no conversation? Only time they talked to me was in the interrogation room.
Were you given immunity?
They forced it on me. I told them they could keep that. I told everybody that a chance, don't bother me, leave me alone.
Right, because at one point, you said you were willing to go to jail rather than take the stand.
I actually went to jail.
Right, for how long?
The weekend.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I was forced to come back in court that Monday.
Well, didn't you say that the prosecutors got on their knees and begged you to testify?
You read it in transcripts?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did that actually happen? They really get on their knees and beg you to testify?
I don't think I can answer that.
Okay, fair enough. Well, when you actually did take the stand and testify, you fired your lawyer in the middle of testimony?
You didn't watch the trial?
I did. It was just crazy to see. But why did you fire your lawyer right then and there?
Man, when you go through life like I have, man, you can't trust nobody. Even your shadow, you feel me? Like, that motherfucker liable to leave you. So it's just like, I seen a lot of wrong. You feel me? And like I said, I prayed and I asked God to guide me through this whole process because it's something new to me. And I don't have a clue what I got myself into. But I just trust in God to get me out of it. So once I started seeing a lot of wrong behavior taking place, and if I had the chance to correct it, I was correcting it. So they was gonna force her to sit through this process or whatever they was gonna do. And she had responsibilities. She had her kids in another state. You know what I mean? Like, so, and, the judge told me that, if I didn't need her representing me, I didn't. Like, y'all already done took me to jail. So what the hell I need a lawyer for? I don't know at this point, I don't have a clue what's going on with me or myself, but she can't help me at this point. Y'all just showed me that she ain't no good for me.
Well, right, because on July 15th, Judge Glanville got kicked off the case. How did you feel when the judge got recused from his own trial?
Like I should have ran the heat up under my rock. It wasn't about how I feel. I was on the outside.
Well, right. So Judge Glanville gets recused from the trial. His replacement judge, Judge Shakura L. Ingram, was his replacement. But then 2 days later, she recused herself because her deputy, Akiba Stanley, who had previously been arrested for allegedly trying to smuggle contraband to another defendant. So now 2 judges get recused. And then Judge Paige Reese Whitaker becomes the new judge. What did you think of the final judge that they actually put on the trial?
Well, Judge, the second judge was the judge that sent me to prison.
Okay.
And the third judge was the one who just released me. I can't paroled out of prison. So
You like the third judge the best?
I had to go in front of both of those judges.
Right. I almost feel like this would have worked out differently if the first judge stayed on the case. That's the impression I get.
If the first judge stayed on that case, I'm gonna shut up.
Okay. Your lawyer got suspended during the trial because he failed to notify a client of an important important court proceeding in a child support case. So I guess it has nothing to do with you, but because of something else they did improper, they get kicked off. Well, they got suspended. So now you need a new lawyer again?
Right now?
No, I mean at that time.
At that time, yeah.
Yeah. So you're going lawyer to lawyer to lawyer to lawyer. These are all public defendants?
No, Melanie was a paid attorney. Kaylee is a paid attorney.
Well, who's paying the attorney fees?
Well, I had paid Melanie. Melanie, he was taking like payment plans for me too.
Got it.
He was patient with me. Kayla, she picked up for, a favor for John. Because I didn't know nothing about Kayla until I walked in the judge chamber. So, but I already knew who Kayla was when I saw her.
Well, when you get on the stand, you say in open court that you lied on Young Thug to save yourself. You also said that you snitched on people that didn't actually exist.
When you use the word snitch,
well, I mean, if it's imaginary people, it's whatever, right?
No, I'm saying when you use the word snitch, right? A snitch would be like, hey, Vlad flew me to New York to commit this act, and that's what actually took place, with all the details and the facts. But when you sitting right here, protecting yourself, from whatever things they trying to put on you, because like my whole time, if you go look at my past, every time I went to jail for them throwing charges on me. So when they question me, I know they trying to get me. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna protect me. But I'm not expecting these people to actually take my word, because even when they ask me my name, I ain't committing no crime driving the car. What's your name? I give them somebody else's name. Y'all know I'm a liar. So it's just like,
Right, because you were ultimately deemed a hostile witness during the trial. Right?
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't even know what a hostile witness is.
Basically a witness that's not trying to help the prosecution.
I ain't trying to help the defense either. I'm trying to help myself get out of a situation that I put myself in.
Yeah.
So it's like,
well, at one point, they were talking about a shooting at a barber shop where Rich Homie Quan's dad got shot. And what you said on the stand, Rich Homie Quan said that you were lying about the shooting. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So what exactly was that about?
So you said when you met Rich Homie, he was a straight up guy, right?
Yeah.
And when you met me, I was a fucking liar, right?
When I met you?
Yeah. What impression did you get from me?
Straight up.
The trial tell you I'm a liar. I done showed the world that I'm a liar. Who you gonna believe? You gonna believe Rich Homie Quan, or you gonna believe the liar?
Okay. Okay. So
you ain't answer that though. Which one you gonna believe? You gotta pick one.
Am I gonna believe? Well, listen, me and Quan go back, so I'm gonna believe Quan.
As you should.
I have the longest history with him, so I'm gonna go with Quan. Me and you just met. Ask me 5 years from now, you might get a different answer.
5 years from now?
Yeah. I've known Quan for over 10 years. Rest in peace, man.
Yes, rest in peace, man.
Good dude. Okay, so the trial's still going on, and every day it becomes the longest criminal trial in Georgia state history. And more things are coming up I believe that there are more mistrial, pieces of paperwork that were filed for this trial than any other trial in Georgia history also. So it's really looking like even if Thug gets convicted at the end, it's going to be a mistrial. They're going to have to start all over again. But then on October 31st, it's announced that Young Thug actually reached a plea deal. He got 5 years, which basically they shortened it to time served, 15 years probation. He could face 20 years if he violates the probation. He pleaded guilty to 1 gang charge, 2 gun charges, and 3 drug charges. He also submitted a no contest plea to a separate gang charge and racketeering conspiracy charge. He's banned for 10 years from Atlanta, except for funerals, weddings, and graduations. He's also banned for promoting gangs or gang culture in any way, shape, or form, including his music. He has to do 4 presentations or concerts a year that are explicitly against gang violence and no contact with gang members or YSL affiliates, except for Gunna. Now, the state wanted 45 years with 25 years to serve and 20 on probation. But ultimately, Brian Steele stepped in and got Thug a charge that honestly nobody was expecting. Time served after being in jail for, I think, 2 years. When you heard the news that Young Thug is walking out that day, what'd you think?
I thank God. I thank God so much that day. I've been at peace ever since.
Was that like the best day of your life? Like
It was. It was. Like, cause you gotta understand, like, man, after they let me off this stand, man, I had to block everything. I go to main event every day to distract myself from, the reality. Like, I don't care about what people have to say or how people feel, but my conscience, I have one now. You feel me? So my conscience eat at me. But when I heard what the DA was offering 45 years, do 25, I was like, wow. And then the plea that he took, it had me sweating like, what the world type of plea was that? So it's like, as a man, when you go through that process, you feel what I'm saying? Only he know the experience that he felt, he know that he can do it. But before she gave him the sentence, I was then holding my breath waiting to hear what was gonna happen, because it was like, man, I didn't want to see nothing bad happen to him. I didn't want to see him go down the road, because, I don't wish that on nobody, but that Thug is a really pretty great guy. You feel me? Like, despite whatever differences we may have.
Well, you said that you apologized to Young Thug. You said the pain, the suffering, everything I've caused on him and his family, I wish I had the mind state and the strength that I have now. I'll never forgive myself. I took him through a process that I never should have took him through, even though I know I'm not the cause of it, despite how anybody may feel it's wrong.
I said what I said for one reason and one reason only, to show the people that's watching that taking accountability is not hard. Think what y'all want to think. Feel what y'all want to feel. Y'all can sit here and say, I'm the main reason of this trial. But if you really watching the trial and paying attention, you'll see I wasn't.
So you don't think you were the main reason the
I
trial
know I
happened?
wasn't. I know I wasn't. Think about it. If I gave a statement 2015, if I'm the main witness in the main, why is it arrest in 2022 or whenever it was? If I'm the star witness, if this whole trial based off me and the statements that I allegedly gave was 2015.
Well, you didn't allegedly give the statement. You gave the statement.
No, it's allegedly because at the end of the day, it wasn't true.
Or no, I understand that.
Right.
But the statements were made, the validity behind them is questionable. That's all I'm saying.
Well, okay, I'm taking allegedly off. Well, the statement I gave them in 2015.
Yeah.
If this case was based off what I had to say, why y'all go from 2015 to 2022 to do what y'all got to do? People can get on here. They can get on here and say, "Oh, this case was based off Woody." Y'all know what's up. You see what I'm saying? So my whole thing is, like I said, everybody feel played. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody feel played. The whole thing. Oh, Woody this, Woody that, because the DA feel played. You feel me? Like, They see that the interrogation footage leak didn't work. They thought that I was gonna be like, you know what, forget it. Might well do this, might well do that. But this shit ain't gonna work on me, man. Right is right, wrong is wrong. I truly believe in that with my whole heart.
Because of Young Thug's plea deal, are you allowed to actually talk to him?
I never took a plea deal.
No. His plea deal, though. His plea deal prohibits him from talking to any gang members.
You got your answer right there.
So have you actually pled guilty to being a gang member?
No.
So if you're not a gang member, technically you guys could talk.
Okay, you got to understand this, right? The way that they do things, they do what they want to do. You feel me? Like, they consider you a gang member. If they see you hang with me for a week straight, they gonna say you're a gang member.
Yeah, I interview lots of gang members. Some of them are my friends. I guess they could try to say I'm a gang member, affiliate, or whatever the hell, associate.
I gave up the gang lifestyle so long ago, but they knew it. You know what I'm saying? Because they listened to my calls, and when I was in jail, like I was getting approached by gang members, and I was telling them that I don't do that no more. And this was way back in 2014, 13. That's when I gave it up. But I just never gave it up to the world. I just let people think what they want to think about me. Because once I was old enough to know better, when my friend died and I didn't see gang members ride behind his death, I was like, what was I doing? So at the end of the day, I didn't see no gang members getting in their cars to go retaliate for his death. So that was when I came to the conclusion, like, oh, I'm wasting my time.
I remember I interviewed this one dude named X-Rated. He was a rapper from Sacramento who went to jail for a murder that he was involved with, and they actually used some of his lyrics to convict him and so forth. And there was his album cover had a picture with him with a gun to his head, and they're saying that was the murder weapon and stuff like that. And while locked up, when we did our first interview over the phone, he basically said that based on everything he's learned since he was a teenager, he feels that gangs are parasitic organisms.
Can you explain it?
Meaning that they don't care about the people. The gang itself doesn't care about the members of the gang. As soon as you die, they'll replace you with someone else. If there's a baby Woody, he'll take your name and he'll go on to be the new you, and it doesn't really matter. The families aren't taken care of when they go to jail, that type of thing. It's just meant to keep the ball rolling and keep money and crime.
How much time do he have?
He did like 30 years or so.
He had to go through the process to realize that. That's why I try to show people when I get on YouTube or TikTok, anything, that, hey, man, we idolize the things that's our downfall. We our own enemy. You feel me? Like, that's why I take accountability. Okay, if y'all want this case to be because of me, okay, it's because of me. Learn from me. Learn from me then. Let my story stop you from choosing this life.
So if Young Thug walked in the room right now and took a seat next to you, what would you tell him?
What would I tell him?
Yes.
If Thug walked in this room and took a seat next to me, what would I tell him? Did he build a relationship with God? I would ask him, did he build a relationship with God? When I heard him speak, I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? But, who knows? This is his first time sitting in jail that long.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, he's given 20 years probation. Me, personally, I think he's going to do that probation just fine. I don't think he's going to violate. I think he's learned his lesson sitting in that dirty jail cell for 2 years.
You got to understand, have you ever did time?
Weekend, a couple days, not no real time.
So the thing is, right, when you do jail time, right, and they keep you locked down and caged up, you're like a wild animal. You want to get out and run around. You feel what I'm saying? He has a lot going for himself. You feel what I'm saying? But then now you got the fans out here that you gotta please them to be able to sell. You feel what I'm saying? And
right. So he can't talk all that blood, slime, wipe your nose.
You gotta understand.
All these lyrics and phrases that made him popular, he can't do that because he could potentially violate.
But you got, like he said, he played no-lo to the game judge because it's a label. So if this is how you make your money, they don't have anything to do with game participation because people idolize you and see what you're doing and they want to do what you do. They don't make, listen, man, a game has structure. It have rules and regulations. It have all that. This is a label. It don't have any of that. That's why in the trial, you never see them present what the rules and regulations are. You don't see them breaking down nothing. You feel what I'm saying? You just got them saying they throwing up signs and doing this. Hey, I see the police do this.
Right, but what they said in the trial was that YSL was affiliated with Sex Money Murder, who was a subset of the Bloods. This is what they say.
What Sex Money Murder's members, there was...
I have no idea.
Me either. Right. So it's just like, you see they saying hybrid game, this and that and third, like, they just didn't care. You feel me? Like, they didn't care. Like, they hold...
Now, listen, a RICO is so broad that you could really say anything. I mean, the whole point of RICOs was it was created for mob bosses in New York because over and over again, they would try to bust the bosses of the mafia and they would say, we didn't do anything. No murders, no robberies, no extortion. Those were other people. They do what they do. We didn't do anything. So they created the RICO in order to bust the head guys that didn't actually get their hands dirty. And it worked. And it kept working. But I feel like in this case, the RICO was so huge and encompassing that it just wasn't going to work.
It wasn't a RICO. It wasn't, you got to understand, Thug don't know 28 people. He probably know 3 or 4 people that's on the whole case.
Right.
What they're doing is saying.
I mean, he knows Yak Gotti. He knows, well, you weren't charged, but.
What they did was they got this person over here, and whatever this person may have done, got this person over here, got these people over here, and they put all these people together where they try to connect them people to each other to say, okay, this is it. If you listen to the calls, everybody talking bad about Thug. Thug don't do this, Thug don't do that. So how is he the leader and everybody, bad biting him? If he this person y'all trying to make him be, why is everybody turning around pointing blame on him? That ain't how it go, right?
Well, when Thug gets out, there was a tweet that said, Gunna, stop acting like we friends on this interview. I don't know you, my guy. And, Gunna's brother responded and said, trust and believe the feeling is mutual.
So let me ask you this question.
Now, I guess it seemed like Thug was hacked, but I don't know. Do you think that was a real tweet or do you think he was hacked?
Ask Thug.
Okay.
My thing is, if let's say hypothetically, let's say Thug did tweet that, right? He was very direct, right? Yeah. Was Gunna brother or whoever made that other tweet, was that person direct? Yeah. Or did that person just say the feeling is mutual? People are trying to take.
He quoted that actual tweet and said the feeling is mutual.
Up under the tweet?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I don't be on the internet. I live in the real world. So whatever's going on, you know what I mean? Like, I'm happy to be alive and free, man. Like, whatever happened with that situation is behind me. And I mean, I'm trying to keep it back there, to be honest. So I don't tune in with what's going on, or I don't give a damn about it. Thug home, Gunna home, the other two finna be home, and life move on.
You said something really interesting in an interview. I actually tweeted this out today. This was on Danza Project. You said, betrayal doesn't come because it's already in your mind. It comes over circumstances. And that is one of the truest things I've ever heard. You don't affiliate with people saying, okay, one day I'm going to stab them in the back and I'm going to, get over on them. You come in with good intentions. Okay, I'm going to rock with this dude. He going to rock with me. I got positive plans for the future. I plan on being down. I hope this person ends up being down. But then things happen along the way. And then that causes you to do separate things. Like, I've interviewed so many mafia guys over the years. Like, people like Sammy the Bull, right? Who took the oath, pricked their finger with the blood and swore that they will If their child is dying, if the mafia boss calls me, I'll leave them and do that. I'll never snitch. I'll never cooperate, even if it means the death of me. And they're like, they always say, I was planning on doing 100 years. I never would have turned. But then I heard a tape where he said this about me, so I cooperated on 30 people. And that's how people like Sammy the Bull got 19 murders and they got like 5 years in prison over it. And you hear the same kind of story, where it's just like, I was going to be down, but then they threatened my family. I was going to be down, but then they try to kill me. Or, but there's always a good reason to turn on somebody. And I think that statement really said it. It's not already on your mind, but a circumstance arises that makes you betray the person.
So when I see people speak, right, first thing I say to myself, you ain't never been through nothing.
Right.
You ain't walked my shoes. You can't talk about my situation.
Yeah.
I have people reaching out to me every day that don't walk my shoes, that what's understood don't have to be explained.
Yeah, man, listen, I feel that I had Freeway Ricky Ross on my show recently, right? And he allegedly made close to $2 billion in drug money. And his plug was one of the biggest drug dealers ever. And at one point, his plug started working with the feds against him and ended up giving him life in prison. And he went to prison. He couldn't read, right? He had to teach himself how to read. And he said for the first couple of years, he was really, really angry because he said, this guy Blandone, he had been to his house, met his family. They made hundreds of millions of dollars together. They were best friends. And then this guy turned against him and put him in jail for life at the time. And one day he woke up and said, why am I so angry? Because somebody told on me. Snitching is part of the drug game. If you're going to get in the drug game, and everyone I've interviewed who was in the drug game has gotten snitched on, why am I so angry that the sky is blue? If you get into this crime game, people are going to cooperate against you. You could create this whole thing in your head like, nah, everyone in my crew is solid and they're going to do 100 years and, just because they don't want to be called a snitch when they get out and, social media will make them do the right thing and do all this time, even though the relationship wasn't even all that strong. And you see people on social media, oh no, like I would do this and I would do that. Man, listen, all you got to do is look at people that get caught for insider trading on Wall Street. They cooperate on day one, every single one of them. And my whole thing is if you're going to get involved in crime, you should just assume that most people end up telling on you if they get pressed hard enough. Am I right?
You know what happened when I was in the feds?
Am I right?
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to answer that, right?
All right.
You know what they told me? It's two type of people in the feds. I like it is. They said the ones that talk and the ones that wish they talked. When I heard that, I was like, well, damn. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm a type of person that once I have my mind set up on something, this is what it sit on. And I've said to myself, I ain't said it out loud. I said, and it's the third one. The ones like me with a point to prove. I'm gonna take y'all to trial. Y'all ain't gonna make me, you feel what I'm saying? So I have that attitude like, okay, make me then. And once I showed them that I was willing to go to trial and that I was going to trial, they wasn't scared of anything, but they know it was a 50-50 chance that, it could go either way. I mean, the situation, because the video tampered with, and I was fighting, like, I was reading, I had people teaching me and everything, so, but when I heard that statement, like, it's two type of people that, and then I'm meeting different dudes. You can't deny me. Like, they can say whatever they want to say about me. Like, I'm very who I am. I'm self-aware of myself. So if you do something to me, right, and then once I realize you did something to me, oh, okay, I'm going to go back into, treat you how you treat me. And, like I said, when I was in the feds, if I'm snitching and all of that, why I got to go do all this time? If I've been working with the police, y'all got to understand, why am I doing all this time? So when they linked that footage out, I already knew. They already see I'm willing to sit in jail. Oh, this nigga scared of jail, so why would I go to plead the fifth and go risk going back to jail. So I done went to court. So once I see that, I was like, oh, don't focus on what the people say. Because you can show the people, hey, I plead the fifth. The judge already told me if I plead the fifth, I'm going to jail. I looked that judge right in the face and said, I plead the fifth. Send me back. I done been going to jail all my life. It ain't me scared of being in jail. You know what I'm saying? It's just the thing is, hey, I'm going to love you as much as you love me. You feel what I'm saying? And, you know, we have moments in our life where, you know, this is what it is. Nobody ain't never just come to me and be like, nigga, go to jail. Because people know how I would get. You know what I mean? I would get like, you know what I mean? Like, how y'all want to play it? You feel what I'm saying? Not with anybody, because it's just like, this is my life. I'm aware that I'm going to die one day. You know what I mean? I'm going to die from old age and raise my kids up. I'm not going to die from nobody taking my life or nobody, you know, whatever the case is. But I say that because a lot of people don't understand the true meaning of this word loyalty. You can give a person all you got. You could give them all your loyalty up front and receive nothing on the back end.
Well, look, I've never defended this whole, you know, never cooperate, never talk to the police. You know, like people like Tony Ayo come on the show and say they've never called.
But I'm not gonna promote it. All I would tell people nowadays is the key to survival is stand by yourself. All that, I'm gonna run with this person, I'm gonna run. I don't watch these people come two people and told them, look, we know this person that actually shooter or this crime right here. You can tell on us, or we gonna go to him and make him tell on you. And that person said, I ain't gonna tell. And they went to the actual killer and told the killer, well, if you come, testify against him, we'll let you walk. And the killer said, okay, cool, and did that. So I see the dirty game that these people play.
All day long.
And people who ain't walked in their life, they're trying to. Because once you pull that trigger and you hit an innocent bystander, or you accidentally kill somebody, that's when the reality kick in and you don't understand that you in the real world now because you've been looking at Grand Theft Auto and YouTube all your life.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, the whole thing is crazy because, you know, at the end of the day, you're also dealing with an unfair playing field, right? So if you make a statement and you say, I don't know DJ Vlad, they could say, well, we have a photo of you two together. So that's perjury. You're going to jail, right? I know people, that's what happened to Lil Kim. When the shooting happened, I don't know if you know the story, but a shootout happened in front of Hot 97, and she claimed she didn't know the shooters. And, you know, the police pulled out photos of them together, shout-outs on her album. You know what I'm saying?
But this is what people don't understand.
Well, let me just finish my point.
Go ahead.
They proved that she was lying. She claimed she didn't know the shooters. It was proven that she knew the shooters. They even had witnesses come up and say, yes, she, you know, Little C's, like, yeah, they know each other. She went to jail. She was pissed off, whatever else, right? Perjury is illegal. You can't lie to law enforcement. But law enforcement can meet you in an interrogation room and say, your co-defendant just said that you're the murderer. He took a deal. He's going to walk out of here. He gave us all the details. You're going to prison for the rest of your life. Unless you want to cooperate right now. We might be able to make this easier on you. Knowing damn well your co-defendant hasn't said anything, but it's actually legal for law enforcement to lie to you to trigger a confession. And it's totally legal in a court of law. But you can't do the same thing. Do you see what I'm saying? I feel like that's a very dirty way of actually, you know, doing the laws in this country.
You almost got it right? When you get interrogated, right, you don't raise your right hand and swear to tell the truth. You feel me?
Huh. Okay.
You don't. They tell you, sign your rights. You agree to speak to law enforcement. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law, right? So whatever you tell the police right then and there, right, you can tell them, like, for instance, you can say, let's say I stole this car. The police got me on camera stealing the car, dead to the wrong. I say Vlad stole the car. They ain't gonna charge me with false information, even if they know I'm lying. But let's say we go to trial and then they put me on the stand and then I get on the stand and say, okay, I lied, I stole the car. Vlad didn't steal it. You can't give me perjury because I lied in interrogation. On the stand, I told the truth. That I believe in. You feel what I'm saying? Well, I know.
Okay, I think Lil Kim actually lied on the stand, and that's how they got it.
Right? So when they put me on the stand and they ask me questions, my thing is I'm telling y'all from my understandings of what I know or what I saw. So you're asking me about some interrogation footages where I'm telling y'all I just made it up. As you look at it, you can tell he just saying anything. I'm sitting here talking about somebody finna die and all this stuff right here, and guess what? I go to jail and nobody died. So if you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff that prove my point of I just made it up. I'm just saying anything.
Yeah. Yeah. You actually said street rules only apply to fools. And that almost reminds me of like what Whack 100 said in our last interview. He said that these street rules that he follows himself, he wouldn't want his kids to follow these same rules because they're created by people with elementary school educations that they often don't follow themselves. Do you agree with this?
Well, first of all, what is a fool anyway? Because you know that why you still calling yourself, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I tell people this, right? That's why when people ask what I had to say, I tell the kids and people who ever listen, make decisions that's based for you. When you see somebody go do something stupid, you don't gotta go with them. You feel me? Even if they be successful with it, and they come back and they put it on because that one time you choose to go, it'll catch you up. And then you gotta deal with it for the rest of your life. I don't see people that ain't never did nothing in their life. Two things don't happen to them. They done went with the wrong person, got shot or killed, or they done got caught up in something they had no business being around. So it's like the street rules apply to those who it benefits. When 2015 happened, when all the stuff started going on, everybody in Atlanta said that Woody did this, Woody did that. So as I'm sitting here, I'm looking at the police trying to get me, and I'm looking at the city convicting me of these crimes. And them people out here trying to harm my family. So guess what I'm sitting here trying to figure out?
Wait, what happened to your family?
Nothing happened to my family.
They were threatened?
No. Nah.
Well, you said people trying to harm your family.
I'm talking about, like, as in shooting up houses.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, that's it.
You feel me? So it's like, by any one of my family members, yeah, tell them six to come carry me. So when I'm going through what I'm going through, like I said, about they snitching and they stuff, right? Let me tell you something. People don't understand. If we brothers, and if I gotta go sit in jail, as my brother, you need to be protecting my family. If I'm sitting in jail, nobody protecting my family, because I'm gonna keep it with my heart because I know what's right. I'm not gonna say my next statement that I would make that will make a lot of people look at people crazy, but I'm not gonna dirt bash nobody. But if a friend of mine go to jail, his family falls on me. I protect his family. Nobody ain't protect my family, and I'm not trying to make nobody look bad or bash nobody because it ain't nobody else's job to protect my family. It's my job. So if I gotta put myself in a situation, get back out here and protect my family for something, you know what I mean, for whatever the case is, then guess what? So be it. I don't live that street life. I don't care nothing about it now. I don't want to speak on it. It stop these kids from choosing that path because, like I said, it's beneficial to those who need that benefit.
Well, look, as you're still going through the trial, you're getting paid interviews. You speak at a law school. I wasn't ready for that one. With Thurgood Marshall Law School?
I wasn't ready.
Yeah. You know Thurgood Marshall was the first black Supreme Court justice.
Oh, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he died a while back, but yeah, that was the first black man on the Supreme Court.
Crazy though. I remember
that was the HBCU you spoke at too, right?
Once I was at school, I did a project on Thurgood Marshall.
Okay.
And so when I went there, I didn't tell them. I just like, dang, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spoke to them students. It was a lot of them there. You know what I mean? And it really put me in, like, I could get shy. You feel me? I could be very confident and bold, but I could also be shy because I really want to touch the people in a way that they can really relate and not just man, we glorifying the wrong thing right now, man. Some kids on the school bus pulled up on me yesterday in my neighborhood. The bus driver said, the kid said, oh, he a celebrity, and he killed 10 people.
Huh.
I was like, what? You feel me? Like, the people who stand around with me were mad. I'm trying to explain to them that the bus driver saying what these kids are saying. I never killed 10 people. Where they getting these stories from? But this is how the internet portraying me and a lot of us as, and a lot of people looking up to it.
Yeah, but you flipped it on a level that I've never seen. I mean, usually, like I know a rapper that went to jail and did 8 years over something his friends did. Because he was a street guy, and I think he was worried, that once he got out, his rap career would be over. But you actually said, all right, I'm cooperating. The tapes are out. I'm taking the stand. This is not a secret. But I'm actually going to flip it and use this to my advantage. So not only did you speak at law schools, you started getting paid interviews, you started doing 20 versus 1s. You actually flipped it into a legitimate business. You and I worked out a business deal before you came here. And I got to say, out of all the people we work with, you are one of the more professional people that I've dealt with. You said what you wanted. You came through on time. You know what I mean? Everything got worked out. There was no funny business. There was no switching shit up. It was like, okay, like Woody's actually taking this seriously. And you had a history of making money illegally, and you've turned this into a legal business now. And you actually have embraced that role, and you're actually successful at it. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's impressive.
I pray, man. I love God. I didn't want to, I said every chance I get, I didn't want to benefit from this. You feel me? Because it's like, if I show people that, oh, I'm doing this for the money, they gonna look at it like that. I do the interviews and I speak the way I speak because I want people to know that, man, the street life you ain't winning in this street life. You feel what I'm saying? Every street person I know that was living how I was living, they didn't want to live like that. I didn't want to live like that. But there was the circumstances that we had to live with. So,
well, you chose to embrace those circumstances.
I didn't embrace it.
I wouldn't say you can't. You're a grown man. You're healthy. You can't say you were a victim and you were forced to do this. You could have chose to get a 9-to-5 job.
No,
Am I right?
no, Vlad, because
you could have
our environment, we don't have that in our environment.
So you're saying you could have went to go work for Amazon or UPS or worked your way up that system?
That ain't our environment. Our environment is once we turn 17, we in handcuffs. Do you understand me? I'm walking up the street. I don't even have a record. In Georgia, you can have a gun. My first arrest was a gun. They charged me with misdemeanors and put me in jail. So like I'm saying, so now it's like, okay, that's on my record. I got to go to court and fight these charges. So it's like, okay, cool.
So you're saying that the gun charge prevented you from then getting regular jobs and so forth?
What I'm saying is when I turned 17 and became an adult, I was on probation.
Okay. So that prevented you from getting certain types of jobs?
It put restrictions on me. You feel me? So it's like...
Yeah, no, listen, I don't like the legal system. I've often said I feel that felonies are forever punishment because once you catch a felony, employers...
You pay for that punishment every time.
Every day for the rest of your life. So for example, right, let's just say I own an apartment building, right? And you apply to get an apartment, a room in my apartment building. And I said, I'm not going to rent to you because I don't like black people. You could then go to the court system and say I was discriminated against because I was black. He wouldn't rent to me because of my skin color, and I'll get into a whole bunch of trouble, right? But if I turn around and say, I'm not going to rent to you because you're a felon, perfectly legal. Nothing you could do about it. I'm totally within my rights to turn you down over a felony. So what does that mean? That means that you can't get an apartment. So what do? Shack up with a girl who has an apartment, Now
with
you're
the
living
family
under
member.
her roof, under her rules. She gets sick of you. She can say, get out of my house. Now, same thing with the jobs. I can't turn you down for a job because you're black, but I can't turn you down because you're a felon. I can do a background check and say, no, we don't hire felons here. So now you can't get the types of jobs you want, so then you're forced to make money illegally, which then turns into a big revolving door. You can't live in a place legally, you can't get a job legally, so you have to survive one way or another, which oftentimes means illegal, which oftentimes means you're going right back to jail. I personally feel that if you go to prison, felony or otherwise, and you do your time, that should be expunged off your record, and you should go back into society as someone with a clean slate. That's what I think.
We got a president is a convicted felon, right?
Right.
I was waiting.
Caught a bunch of felonies. More than
Teflon
one.
done Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That's the Teflon done. And guess what, man? That's the best way to do it. We can't even vote, but we can have a felony for a president. Man, listen, and then Trump get on there, and Trump said, I just want to see what he gonna do.
Yeah.
Is he gonna change these laws? Cause you with the police too now. Cause you said you're gonna tell them to crack down. But you once said on the West now you hate snitches. So is you gonna change the RICO laws?
Yeah.
Nope.
Final question. If you could go back in time and do something drastically different in any of your situations, whether it's talking to the police, getting involved in a certain illegal situation, or anything else like that, what would be the main thing that you would change if you actually could?
I'd go back and join the army.
Huh.
Yeah.
You would just erase that whole history of you being in the street.
Yeah, I would have been in the army. I wanted to at one point.
What happened?
My damn hear. I can't hear. So it's like the physical. But my dream was to always be in the army.
Huh.
I mean, like, I don't know why, this is the only thing I can watch on TV. Anybody know me, I'm gonna watch an army movie, this how I'm gonna go to sleep. What we watch on the airplane on my way here, army movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like, I'm infatuated with the army.
Well, Woody, man, I'm glad you finally came in. We've been talking about doing this now for a while, even though you think I'm the feds and somehow got some secret information about you.
You do. Look at the
when
question
got
you
out.
asked. You should scare the hell out of me. I don't even want to go back to Atlanta.
Well, is there a reason? Well, let me ask you a question. Is there a reason why you stay in Atlanta if you consider moving?
I actually talked to my probation officer 2 days ago when she gave me approval to come here. She told me she ready for me to go. I said, what you mean by that? She said, you need to leave Atlanta. You making my job hard. I thought I was doing everything right. She like, honey. So yeah, I've been looking at some more places to move to. You know what I mean? There's not too far from my kids, and I have actually been looking at property, and because they pulling me over, man. And every time I was just arguing with the police yesterday. I'm telling him I'm not giving you my name. Like, you know who I am. Why you want my name?
Yeah, I mean, that's what Boosie did. In Baton Rouge, he was getting harassed by the cops all the time. They would go in his house, steal his stuff. They'd pull him over, take his money, not give it back. And then there was the whole hypnotized with hatred thing where dudes around him started getting more and more mad, and he felt like they were trying to kill him.
But see,
so he moved to Atlanta, bought a big piece of property, and never looked back.
But most police don't mess with me. Like, they see me, you know what I mean? They don't bother me. But it's like lately they just started back, pulling the car over. You know what I mean? Tips. So I'm just like, damn, what am I doing wrong? You feel me? Like, I ain't breaking the law.
Do you feel that there are people out there in Atlanta, whether it's YSL or YFN or whoever else, that do have a grudge, that do feel like they want to get at you or something of that sort?
If anybody want to get at me, they need to pray and take their anger ass up to God, cause I'm gonna leave it at that.
Has anyone ever approached you?
No.
Never.
Mm-hmm. I follow the spirit, man. Like, if I go somewhere and I feel uncomfortable, I leave. But everything ain't meant for the internet. People can think what they want, but in the real streets, I'm right there. I'm right there in the middle of the trenches. This every side of Atlanta. So it's like, long as I go and don't have no problems, and I don't get nobody no problems.
I mean, I've always felt like if I have to go somewhere, and I legally own guns. If I feel like I got to bring my pistol with me, To go there, I just won't go. Now, if it's something that's business related, then I will bring armed security with me. Professional armed security, whether it's NYPD, LAPD, or other registered real bodyguards that will legally pull out a gun and shoot somebody and take the stand and explain why they did it. So if I feel that I got to bring a gun and possibly pull out myself, I say, nah, I'm good. I just won't go. Because I know that there's people out there that don't like me, and you know what I'm saying? Someone might try to get a viral moment off me, and I don't want to have that turn into me pulling out a gun and potentially throwing my life away.
So when I run into people that try to get a viral moment, I approach with respect. I be like, please, bro, don't do that to me.
Oh, so you've had that?
Yeah. Not on no gangster, tough guy stuff, but I have people pull out their phone, and I had to tell them, like, please don't do that to me, bro. Like, I love my kids. You don't know where I'm coming from. You feel me? So
that sounds like a lightweight threat right there.
It's not a lightweight threat. It's just me asking nicely, like, bro, please go get your clap somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't it. This not the internet.
They put their phone away?
Yeah, they do. Okay. You see, you ain't seen none of the videos.
No, I haven't. That's what I'm saying.
I don't carry guns. I know the police right here trying to get me. I don't need them.
There was a video, though, of someone that claimed they stole your chain. And they had a chain that looked similar.
Not jewelry on my car part, my shirt out with, no pistol. Ain't nothing nigga gonna take nothing. I promise you I'm gonna shake some.
Yeah. I didn't think it was real, but, you know, they had their little moment.
That video hurt me because it's like a lot of kids.
Yeah, it was kids.
Like, man, come on, man. Learn from this situation. The whole trial that y'all supposed to be watching is telling you social media this, social media that. You're threatening me on social media to my this and that and this and that. You're hurting the case. People that's be speaking on the case is actually hurting the case. Everything that they're using is off social media. So y'all don't have to oh, nigga, rat. You a rat too, nigga. You don't have to talk some this and that and third. You snitching on Thug. If I'm telling the truth, if I'm snitching on Thug, you just confirmed that I'm telling the truth.
Well, Yak Gotti, his case is still going. He refused a plea deal.
Mm-hmm.
And you know Yak Gotti.
I do.
How do you think that will turn out?
Yak Gotti gonna be found not guilty on all counts.
Okay.
No, his name don't be being mentioned. If you pay attention, like I'm just saying, this is what I heard somebody else say. I heard somebody else say they never mentioned Yak name, so it's like, well, and the jury, they showed me over there.
I know, man. How long is this trial? It's what? Is it almost 2 years now? Year and a half?
I don't even know what year this is. Seriously, like,
no, man,
that's how quick life is going. Like,
no, I think Fonnie Willis, although she will try to claim this as a victory because Young Thug pled and technically she found him guilty. If you plead out, that means that's a conviction, right?
It is.
Technically. But from all intents and purposes, what she set out to do, she just wasted taxpayers' money and ultimately got people slaps on the wrists and really didn't accomplish what she set out to do.
To you. To her, she got a conviction. Might not be the one that she wanted, but she clearly, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want no smoke with that lady, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I stay out the way. At least try.
Well, that's what it is. Lil Woody, man, appreciate you coming in. We finally got to do it. Like I always said, from the first moment that we really started talking, I didn't want to do it until Young Thug, you know, his whole situation was over. His situation is over. Yes, there's Yak Gotti and I think one more defendant that are, you know, kind of ending their trial, but you really have nothing to do with that situation. And I felt it was finally safe for us to actually do that interview because contrary to popular opinion, I don't want to see anyone go to jail over a VladTV interview. I don't want to hurt anyone over VladTV interviews. I only want to talk about things that people could legally talk about. And this was an example of that. So appreciate you coming in, man. And, you know, congratulations on turning your life around. I feel like you have a new direction and you're living legally at this point. I don't think at this point in your life, with everything you've gone through, that you would even consider going back to an illegal life anymore. Because you know what's going to come with that. You're going to go right back to jail.
No, I ain't going to jail.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I ain't going back to
with all your priors and everything else like that, you know it's not going to be a slap in the wrist or probation. I think you're intelligent enough to realize that completely. And I admire the position that you've put yourself in at this point. And I respect, you know, the way you conducted business with me. And man, I wish you all the best.
Thank you, man.
That's what it is. Till next time. Peace.